It was page up was my recording key. Okay. We're back into this Half-Life thing. There's a guy with a gun. Attacking him does nothing.
Come on in. I'll show you what you're up against.
At least I'm getting ammo. Okay. Alright, show me what I'm up against.
Don't worry about the airboat. Bort's gonna look after it for you. Here, take a look at this. This here's the dam. It's just up ahead.
I can't see. It's so
Eli's
blurry.
hideout is here, a stone's throw from the apron and nestled in the old hydro plant. But getting there, with that hunter chopper on your ass, next to impossible. Good news is, the Vortigaunt's working his magic on your airboat, so you'll have a little more firepower going forward.
So I have a gun on my
I think
boat.
he's just finishing up now. Go on out.
Wow, that's fast. I feel like I could see him. Oh, he's got Emperor hands going.
There we are. That gun came off one of the same hunter choppers that you're up against. I always like to bring a little irony to a firefight. Take that chopper down, and you should be able to tear on through to Eli's place.
The Freeman will accept this weapon or suffer great.
That's correct. The video description should say halftime. Okay. Do I need to... Okay, so I need to... Could you actually... Okay, thanks. Great. I was gonna say... I was gonna recap real quick and say, yeah, weren't expecting that, huh? Yeah. You run away. We'll cry to your mama. Oh, God. Ew, the water looks so dirty. It just looks dirty. I don't like how dirty it looks. This is a kind of a different song, a little bit. Yeah, so last time we did a lot of sailing like this. And now we're gonna do more of it. I still do not mind. I think this is fun. I don't know why people complained about it. Probably because you have to do stops like this. I will say it's a little wonky, but it's not bad. It's just, I like any good control scheme that feels kind of tactile. That's kind of why I think Resident Evil 4 has one of the best control schemes, even if it's not like smooth, you know? I think it's because it feels like you are putting weight behind certain decisions and blah blah blah. I'm not going to talk about Resident Evil 4. Oh god. That. Kinda hoping there'd be something good here. Now, if you were progress, where would you be? Oh god. Alright, how's the audio? Is that what I was supposed to do? Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's so inconsistent about that kind of stuff. I feel like I want to get over there, right? That's where the progress is. But I don't think I can make it over there from here. Maybe I can. Okay. Do this very carefully here. Nope. Nope, that's bad. Shouldn't have done that. Hmm. You can't see me. Oh, do I just need to ramp it up here? I just need to take this thing on the ramp itself? Just okay. That's interesting. Ooh, that's not good. I think we just want to go. This is very sloppy. Oh, got him. Don't want to be near those barrels. Keep going. Just keep going. Just hit the loading screen. And hit the wall. How did I not hit that box? Okay, let's hit that box. I do need health. Trying to go. Well, I got him. Kind of like that it does tell you about those kinds of body injuries, even if you can't really do anything about them as far as I know. Oh god. Okay. Those things are just gonna keep going. This is basically Donkey Kong at this point, isn't it? This is gonna be close. Uh-oh. I'm not entirely sure where to go there. I wonder if that's just the place where I do have to end up just killing them. Oop. Oh, this is not a good checkpoint. This is gonna be tough. Mostly because I don't know if I'm supposed to just try to kill them there, or... I mean, that looks like my way out. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, or not. How do I get there? So I think I have to do a huge a loop, basically, and ride into that hole, but... I have zero clue as to how to get through that fence if I'm not supposed to just crash through it. Here we go. Nope. Nothing. I thought that might be it, but... I have not seen the new gameplay for Half-Life Alyx. I'll probably take it up for the podcast at some point. Oh god. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now I can ride up into that hole. So I guess this kind of, I don't know if it confirms it, but it kind of not so slightly tells you that you really shouldn't try to kill those trucks. Which one of these is the Borealis? I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know necessarily what to make of the new gameplay, but I'll probably watch it at some point after this. I do want to see it, but I don't think I would actually see it if I wasn't covering it. Mostly because I just kind of want to go in blind. So I already know I'm gonna play it, so I'm not super tempted by the idea of new gameplay. But for coverage purposes, I will watch it. We'll say there are a couple moments with the... like that. Oh! Well, what do you know? I'm failing upwards. I can do it. Well, at this point I might as well just... Okay, so now we're loaded up on... stuff. Uh-oh. Helicopter's back. Oh, God. Okay, let's turn around. Oh, he's dropping those bombs. Oh. Oh my god, how many bombs does he have? How many bombs can one helicopter fit? That is an excessive number of bombs. Look at that, how many? That's like the Franken ships in Star Wars, but it's like one helicopter. That's ridiculous. At least make the bomb smaller. Like, I don't care if they're doing it for a gameplay reason, but that is ridiculous. Also, he is fully on fire now. How long do helicopters usually last when they're on fire? Okay, not much. Well, I did it. Jeez, the part with the 2 APCs was harder than that boss fight. But that is an absurd number of bombs. I wonder if you totally can just, like, skip this boss by doing this. I can't imagine you can, but maybe. I just didn't have time to watch the Half-Life Alyx stuff, but I've heard good things. But I'm excited for that game. I saw that they had like 3 separate gameplay videos, and then IGN first had like a, or IGN had a first. So that they were just going to talk about it. Oh, you know what? Hold on, I have to do something very important here. By which I mean, you gotta look at my desktop. Figure the video. You gotta zoom in a little bit. I totally forgot to do this. Okay. Right about here, and then we pan twice. I'm keying you in to the process of of how I set up my stream. Now we're back. Now I gotta figure out where it is I need to go. Okay. Pretty easy ramp there. Yay! Oh my god. They're interrupting my party. Alright. I think I've got to use this somehow, right? Maybe it's just here for fun, but I can't imagine that's the case, right? God, it has been so long since I played this game that I do not remember. Am I just leaving the... Oh, wait. Am I running it across here? I guess I could. Or is it not up here? Oh, great. Should be able to make progress here. Oh, oh. 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 Wait, what? I am enjoying it. It's holding up pretty well. A couple places where I kind of misread cues and stuff and get a little lost, but for the most part, I'm into it. And now this ladder being here kind of makes me realize that Oh, I'm top of the fence. But I need to... What? guess I can just go that way, right? I can just do something like that. Was I supposed to have done that? That doesn't look right. No, this is where I came from. Okay. So that dropped that ladder there. Yeah, I enjoy the tactile feel of the boat here. Hovercraft thing. Okay, so I feel like I'm just not reading like whatever signposts they want me to read correctly, because clearly this ramp means I'm supposed to put it up here, right? And then they literally point you this way. Observation. I mean, I guess I can come back and get it later if I'm not supposed to put it here. But yeah, it's been good so far. I like this game. Okay, we'll figure it out later. But I think for now I'm supposed to go on foot here. I'm guessing this will open up. Okay, so that opened up. But I don't think I can I make that? Can I get in there? Like one of the doors opened up, but I don't think I can make it in there. I need to figure out how to work the other one. And so maybe I'm supposed to... Huh. Get... Maybe I am supposed to use this as a ramp. In which case, I need to double back some. Gonna do a little bit of Austin Powers. Oh. Well, that felt like a cut, a late cut video where it's just like, yeah, you just kind of see the thing start to collapse. When Black Mesa East. That said, I think I will agree that these segments go on a little longer than they should, maybe. But, because right now I would just like to do some ground approaches, and I think for last time when I played, it felt like they did a better job of splitting that stuff up, of putting you on the boat for a while, and then kind of mixing that with some segments where you had to get out of the boat and travel on land, and there was a little bit of that, but I don't feel like it's been as even this round. We also have not gone for as long, so now it feels like this is fully the end of the boat segment, but for now anyway. What's in here? An alcove. Hey, Adam Walker, Texas Ranger. Thanks for logging into the chat. I guess now now it's doing the exact thing I kind of wanted it to do, which is, does that mean does the fact that I asked for it and then it happened, does that mean it's perfectly paced, or should I not even have to ask, you know?
We've got something. It's human. Hello? Take it easy in there. You're safe now. You'll have to forgive the scanning process. We can't take any chances. Dr. Freeman? Gordon Freeman? Is that you? You've made it here this quickly. Well, Eli is going to be amazed, not to mention relieved. I'm Dr. Mossman, Dr. Judith Mossman. I've been hearing about you since long before the Black Mesa incident. Oh, Black Mesa. I do so envy you working with Eli and Dr. Kleiner when they were at the top of their field. Ah,
And now they're has-beens.
come through now.
I hate them now.
I'll take you down to Eli right away. He would never forgive me if I kept you waiting.
This is why you don't play as Gordon Freeman anymore. How are you going to solve this problem?
We could certainly use the extra help around here. We've covered a lot of ground in the last few months, but things would be so much faster if we had more people with your training. We're closing in on a reliable local teleport technology, something the Combine still hasn't mastered. Eli thinks their portals are string-based, similar to our Calabi-Yau model, but they think
I like that they deign to look down on you when you're doing this weird crap like crouching.
once they're here, they're dependent on local transportation.
They just do not miss a
They
beat.
knew what we were doing with entanglement. Listen to me. I sound like a postdoc. I'm just so excited to think that we'll finally have the chance to work together. Where was I? Oh, yes. Dr. Kleiner compressed the Zen relay far beyond anything he imagined at Black Mesa. We figured out how to use Zen as an unexpressed axis, effectively a dimensional slingshot, so we can swing around the border world and come back in local space without having to pass through. Oh, here's Eli now.
Yes, Gordon Freeman, the greatest scientist of his time. The guy who just bangs on all the
Eli,
walls.
who I found in the airlock.
Gordon Freeman. Let me get a look at you, man. My God, you haven't changed one iota. How do you do it?
I feel like I am one
Now, let's
iota
see.
now.
The last time I saw you, I sent you up for help after the resonance cascade. I never thought it would take you this long to get back to me. Welcome to the lab anyway. It's not Black Mesa, but it served us well enough.
It's going to be a lot more like Black Mesa with Gordon here to help.
Right you are. MIT graduates are few and far between these days. We'll get you out of that hazard suit and back into your lab where you belong.
Let me just finish up some work and I'll see what I can dig up. Dr. Freeman, it's been a real honor. I'm looking forward to working together.
Feel free to look around.
Can I get on this ladder? I'm a scientist. I need to inquire about whether or not I can jump on this ladder.
We've almost got that portal working again. But I wouldn't blame you if you didn't volunteer for the next trial run.
Eli Vance is indispensable to the liberation.
Fine, I'll try to be productive now.
Oh, Gordon. The Vortigaunt said you were here. I can't believe you made it so quickly on foot.
Well,
Evie broke your record, honey.
Well, he earned it. I guess you proved you can handle yourself out there.
There's nothing Gordon can't handle. With the possible exception of you.
Dad.
you see that sick trick? Well, not that one, but that's also another sick trick. Physics, you guys. They put them in the game.
Take a look at this, Gordon.
What? Yes, I'm a serious scientist. What do you need? I looked at it. And you work like that. That's comfortable. Okay. Well.
Alex, I thought you were on watch.
The Vortigons relieved me so I could come see Gordon. Anyway, I should be in here working on the portal.
I have the repairs well in hand. Someone misjudged the capacity of the Combine thyristor.
Are you blaming me?
No, not at all. It was a calculation error, not a mechanical problem.
Then maybe you should let me do the calculations next time, as well as installing it.
Alex, really? Sometimes I think you deliberately misunderstand me.
Alex, why don't you take Gordon along and give him some practice with the gravity gun?
Sure. Come on, Gordon. Let's go have some fun.
The zero-point energy field manipulator is not a toy, Alex.
Ugh, let's get out of here.
She's mad. There's this weird undertone, and it's like, I don't know, it's a weird thing to complain about, but
Dr. Mothman. She's one of the main reasons I spend so much time outside.
that like all the principal characters in this conflict are scientists, which I guess makes sense for what they're kind of trying to do. But it's like this weird kind of nerd power fantasy where it's like, oh yes, the guy who kind of has his doctorate and is very up on physics and stuff is also the person who gets to kill everything, right? So it's like, what if there is this like very basic, what if the nerd was the hero kind of narrative running through it, where there are no characters who are not in some ways useful as like tinkerers or engineers or just people who have a lot of like those kinds of hard skills. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is a very specific. I think it's like, it's one of those things that gives, I think, Half-Life its tone, versus like, hey, I'm a guy who's like, I'm effectively Brock Sanson and Dr. Venture in this game, right? Where I'm the guy who is kind of, well, I mean, if Dr. Venture was like wasn't like, didn't have all these neuroses, but I'm like the smart guy, and I'm like the brute who just wrecks everyone.
This is the gravity gun my father was talking about. You can call it the zero-point energy field manipulator if you really want to. It's designed for handling hazardous materials, but we may
so yeah, the zero-point energy manipulator is like one of my favorite guns in games, and I think at the time.
It's a charge. You can punch stuff and send it flying.
So it's very simple. You just grab it, and you just kind of throw stuff. So I think a lot of people really freaked out about the zero-point energy manipulator at first when it came out.
The secondary trigger lets you grab things. You can throw them with the primary. Once you pick something up, you can drop.
But it is kind of like this game's whole thing.
Pick up some stuff and toss it.
It's hard to contextualize it now because it does seem like such a rote thing. But I wonder how, because obviously it feels like Valve really wanted you to
You can also pull stuff from distance. Try grabbing those barrels from that ledge up there.
I wonder how much time Valve felt like they needed to spend getting players up to snuff with the zero-point energy manipulator.
See if you can stack some stuff to climb up here.
Because if you think about it, it really is like the gravity gun and the pressing the E button on something is basically the same thing. So it's like your ability to pick things up in the world is basically like, the zero-point energy manipulator is basically like an enhanced version of that. Because I can effectively do what she wants me to do with just the E button. But the gravity gun is it just makes it easier. It turns it into a superpower.
You can place objects by moving them into position and hitting the secondary trigger again. All right.
People really like Dog. I will say though, as like someone who really likes a lot of Valve things, I never really glommed onto the whole companion cube thing when I played Portal.
Now let me call Dog.
Like, I definitely would not have come out of that game going like, yeah, but you need to make a bunch of companion cube merch. But I guess that's really you can't like merchandise a lot of stuff in Portal either way. So that's all you really could get attached to. But the zero-point energy manipulator, now that's a
My
thing.
dad built him to protect me when I was a kid. First model was about yay high. I've been adding to him ever since. Haven't I, boy?
And I think at the time he was like especially well animated, and I think this was really impressive as a showpiece. Do I like the portal gun or the 0-point energy manipulator? I think I like the portal gun better because I think even for the time, I think the portal gun was way more inventive than the 0-point energy manipulator, because the 0-point energy manipulator felt like like I said, it's an extension of a thing that was already intrinsic to the game, and it was like, hey, here's how you do, here's a fun way to experiment with physics. Whereas Portal, like, even beyond the fact that it was basically a physics porn, it felt like an interesting mechanic on an intellectual level of like, oh man, I gotta figure out how to learn. I gotta rewire my brain to think with portals, basically, which I think was their tagline actually. More so than with the 0-point energy manipulator. Is he gonna grab it? Why is it moving away from him? Uh-oh. Oh, I'm so sorry, dog. I'm so sorry, dog. I didn't do it on purpose. I feel bad now. I'm gonna put my 0-point energy manipulator away. I wanted to throw it just straight up, but it always has, I guess, some amount of forward momentum. I think he has something like it too, right? Magnetize and stuff.
When I told you Dog liked to play fetch, I didn't tell you who'd be fetching, did I?
Because, I mean, yeah, it's a fun narrative moment, and I kind of like it as a quiet moment in this game that's just full of with action stuff, but this is a very extended demo for something that now is, like, the most obvious thing in the world. Like, just wielding the 0-point energy manipulator is, like, it's second nature to me now, but it's not like I play Half-Life 2 all the time. It's just, I guess I play with enough, like, games since then have kind of instilled this kind of logic of like, yeah, you grab the thing, you absorb the thing, and then you fire with one thing. But I can't think of that many games that actually do this. It's just very simple, and they spend a ridiculous amount of time kind of like teaching it to you. But I still think this is a really cool gun. Oh god, let me in. And then, obviously they kind of have a bit of a Chekhov's gun with like, hey, you can't hold something that big. Put it away, dog. The 0-point energy manipulator couldn't handle something like that.
Is Gordon still with you?
He's right here.
Good. I want you to
Uh-oh.
take Gordon out of here.
Talk about a 0-point energy, 0 life
Dad?
with this gun.
Damn it! Dog, open the airlock. Get us out of here.
I also do like that they like, instead of mapping it to these keys, it's just like 1, 2, 3, 5, and then G for 0-point energy manipulator.
Come on, Gordon.
I'm trying, but I've got a big boy thing. No!
Gordon, you need to get out of here. I can't.
If only I had some sort of 0-point energy manipulator to push through this debris. Okay, I don't know where Ravenholm is. You're gonna have to tell me where it is, boy. They really wanted to get across that the 0-point energy manipulator can just... This is this game now. Oh. I have to use an actual gun? No one ever uses keys in the Half-Life universe. Yeah, I do like the hard cut to like that you go into Ravenholm right after you get the 0-point energy manipulator. That's like a cool yeah, it's like here's the creepiest area in the game. But we're gonna give you a gun that's actually kind of empowering. So instead of it being like a horror game, you feel like you're hunting like a werewolf, but you're like you feel it's like a sort of a Van Helsing thing where you are empowered, but so is the enemy in a weird way. So with just creepy overtones to it. But it's not like you're not afraid of stuff. Like this is not nice what they did to this guy, you know. But I have the 0-point energy manipulator, so when this guy comes in, I can do this. And again, I feel like this is like the central mechanic of like a billion indie games, you know, grabbing stuff, like being able to grab stuff from far away and throwing it, you know. And even like any physics-based game at this point uses this kind of thing. So like this, I think at some point, it's like, isn't this relevant to like a boss fight? This is the kind of the thing they come up with like, oh yes, saw blades are incredibly powerful weapons. And this is like genuinely cool. It's like, as a gameplay mechanic, this is genuinely cool. And it's not like a thing that's like, oh my god, it's revolution. This is going to change games forever. But it wasn't like a huge overhaul. But it became kind of like a quiet new standard to be able to manipulate weapons like this, and just like the appeal of seeing physics fly was actually pretty cool. Who are you? What? Can I do this? Not a crazy, not a wonderful trap, but no, jeez. Uh-oh, this is gonna get me wrecked. Run. Box to face. Oh god. So here's my question for you guys who have watched the trailer where I have not. Was there anything in those trailers that made you think of the gravity gun, or I mean the 0-point energy manipulator, or anything like that? Did you see like here's kind of like the tech justification that we have. Here's why we're making this game in VR. Ow. I actually think when I was talking about the saw blades being crucial, I think I might have misremembered. Might have gotten this in Gears of War confused, because I think there's a saw blade gun in Gears of War as well. Can I just say that when the head crabs walk just like on the floor, like casually like that, it's actually kind of adorable. Because usually they're always leaping. Where are you? Stool! I think I saw something else move. Not that then. Although I did see it. Take a hold. Take a hold. Like, it's fun. It's... But, so the other thing is that, like... When I first heard that Valve was making a VR thing, I immediately thought, like, oh, that's what the next Half-Life game is going to be on. Was like, because it always felt like, oh, a little while ago, because it always felt like, oh, Half-Life needs a big tech thing to really stand out. But I think that Half-Life's in this weird place where, on the one hand, it's just a really good first-person, like, I think that even before you get the gravity gun, I think this game is still really good. I don't think it needs the... I think the gravity gun is what kind of puts it into... like, makes it memorable as, like, a landmark game. But I think even if it didn't have that kind of historical importance, I think it would still be remembered as a really cool game. I don't think it necessarily needs it to justify it. But I do totally understand where Valve is coming from, where, oh, we don't, you know, Valve has said that they don't make games without like a real reason behind them. And I think, you know, Half-Life 2 is them figuring out physics, and also Steam, and a lot of their more recent games have been about, like, let's figure out co-op and marketplaces and economies and things like that. And I think, you know, Counter-Strike was more of them very explicitly trying to get into esports in a way that, like, they kind of just... They didn't really do as much with Dota until, like, it caught on with Counter-Strike. As far as Firebreak, my history might be wrong on that, but... and so Half-Life Alyx feels like, okay, here's our VR game, right? But I think that even though they do try to justify it. Hold on.
I'll keep my eye on you. More than that, I cannot promise.
Oh. Can I grab bodies? Won't let me grab bodies. I was trying to grab an object. I don't see anything to grab. Oh well. But yeah, even I think removed from Valve's desire to always make sure that there is this technological or like novelty to their games, I think they just stand as really, like, even removed from the fact that it was kind of a showcase for Valve's ability to make an esport. Counter-Strike Go is, for all intents and purposes, I'm not like that game's biggest fan. In fact, I've maybe only played one match. That game is a good shooter, right? And Half-Life 2 is a good shooter. Dota 2 is the best MOBA of all time, and it is in fact the second greatest game ever made. And so, like, these games just stand on their own as, like, well-designed games. So I think that even removed from its place as a VR game, I think I'm excited for the part of Half-Life Alyx where it's a good game, and not for the part where it's like, oh yeah, how's it gonna be this revelatory VR experience? That said, I think that, you know, having not seen the trailers, it definitely feels like Half-Life Alyx is the game that's most tied to the tech behind it, because you cannot ignore, like, you can't ignore the fact that that game is a VR game, right? In the same, like, even if it is a graphical showcase, beyond the parts where they force you to use it as a puzzle-solving mechanic, you can kind of just appreciate Half-Life 2 as, like, a good shooter. You can appreciate Dota 2 as a good MOBA. You can appreciate Counter-Strike as, like, a good multiplayer game. And I keep forgetting Team Fortress, to be fair, because I think Valve kind of has also. But I think you will never, when you're playing it, I think, forget that Half-Life Alyx is a VR game. I think that part is just woven into the experience more intrinsically than it is in the other games. And that's maybe the hurdle that they have to overcome, is that I think a lot of the examination of this game, of Half-Life, or of Alyx, is going to revolve around, oh, did this fundamentally alter, like, you know, my opinion of VR, or is this like the greatest showcase for VR games? And for me, as someone who already has a VR headset, but I did specifically buy it. I bought a Quest specifically for 2 games, for Beat Saber and Half-Life Alyx. So to be fair, I am kind of bought in on this. Like, if this game is not good, that's gonna suck. But I just want to play a good game. I don't need this to be like, see, I don't need this to be like the VR showcase in the way that Beat Saber is. And I believe. Oh. I thought I needed to cut the cables here. Yeah, I think also the draft. I mean, I guess I experienced it less as like this to me is not like, oh, Valve is fine. Valve is back, you know, because they've been here. You know, they're kind of like Blizzard in that sense, and that like their shtick at this point is not they release new games all the time. It's more we manage a number of different games. So like to me, they never really left. But I totally understand that. Wait, is it being propped up by like that stick? What am I missing here? If I touch this, I'm dead. Right? Yeah. Oh, I guess I just need to go. I guess I just need to enter the building, right? So maybe I. Hold on. Yeah, I can see why expectations are high, you know. But I think that people need to keep that stuff in check. It's that like Valve, you know, on some level, all for me that Half-Life Alyx has to do is just be good. Like it has to be a well-designed shooter. And for me, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, this changes the way I approach VR, right? But I think, you know, I don't think it's unfair to assume like that this game has to be good because people, you know, I imagine a lot of people are buying a VR headset for it. And so if this game isn't good, like this game has to justify that VR purchase. But, you know, I guess that isn't... It's maybe a little different from having to buy, like buying a PS5 and expecting, okay, this console has to justify the fact that I just spent however much money on it. You know, you buy a new PC and you kind of expect, okay, well now I spent, you know, $1,000 on this new computer. The boost I get out of games now, well, I mean, I guess it depends on like what you're doing, because like I really only spent 4,000 or not 4,000, 400 for me, because all I did was buy the Oculus Quest, right? But I already had like a pretty good PC. So I think maybe like I can totally see why people would want it on PSVR, but I think if you're buying, if you are saying like the only reason I'm buying this whole PC is to play Half-Life Alyx, there are more uses for that $1,000 PC than one game. You know, if you can run Half-Life Alyx, you can run a number of games, right? So you're not. I don't think anyone should try to, you know, justify $1,000 computer and an Oculus headset off one game. And I get that for a lot of like console players, that's going to be an issue. But, you know, like that's, it's only more expensive. It's only I guess, you know, it is significantly more expensive, but it is like, I guess a higher risk reward version of, buying a new game on a new console for a new console, or like buying a new console because of a game, right? Like one of the reasons people harp on Xbox, oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that. One of the people harp on Xbox for not having exclusives is because it kind of begs the question, if they don't have exclusives, it kind of begs the question, well, why would I buy an Xbox then if you don't have any games for me to play? So if you don't want to spend $1,000, if you don't think you'll ever use that PC again, then yeah, don't buy a $1,000 PC to play Half-Life. But also consider consider changing your habits a little bit, but you shouldn't have to, right, to play a game. So I think I am totally on board that it should come to PSVR, however they can manage that. But in terms of like, oh, this game has to cost you $1,000. Like it doesn't have to if you're willing to use that computer to play other games, if you're willing to use it for, you know, music production, software, video stuff, Can you play Alex on the Quest? Well, you do need a PC. Like that is, I'm not gonna like mince words about that. You need an Oculus Quest with the Oculus Link cable, but you can do that for like $20. So you do need that. You can't play it standalone on the Quest. But if you already have a PC, if you're already someone with a strong enough PC, you're just buying the Quest and like a link cable maybe. So again, I think the cost investment is kind of stratified in a way that it wouldn't be for a console game. But I think the solution for them there is to just put it on PSVR later, and just solve the issue that way. I guess the other thing I'm wondering. Oh, this is like the this is like the super strong. Where'd he go? Is he still alive? Oh god, there's another one. Okay. So turn that off and I can get out of here. Oh my sweet lord. I'm gonna run away now. I'm gonna run away. Is the implication that they were on the other side of that fence and now that I've lowered the electricity, they're getting through? That's certainly what it feels like to me. This is like really nice and creepy. It's also...
Well done, brother. Make free use of my traps, but take care not to fall in them yourself. Behind you!
What? Oh.
In Ravenholm, you do well to be vigilant.
Okay. Bye. Okay, oh. Okay, jump over. I also, yeah, you also don't get a lot of ammo for stuff here, so you're kind of... Which I think this is maybe the other kind of like unsung genius, if I think they do this correctly, is that one reason I think Ravenholm is such a good showcase for the gravity gun is that if they don't put a lot of ammo around here, so you're kind of forced to use it. And what that does is that it turns encounters into this kind of like scavenger hunt of, okay, what's the next object I can use to hurl at these guys, which is a very weird. It's a very different approach than, say, okay, well I need to use the ammo that I have to just like I've come into this encounter equipped with everything I need, and hopefully I get more of this universal currency versus. The combat encounters being designed around the objects within it, which is what the gravity gun kind of pushes you toward, is to look around your environment and find items, and you always feel like, okay, if I don't have anything to throw, I'm screwed. So it's this weird on or off situation where either you're incredibly powerful because you have an object in your hand, or you're powerless because you don't have anything. And I think that's a fun dynamic that makes Ravenholm a really cool area. But then you do have this reserve ammo, to fall back on. So I'm not saying it's 100% like that, but I think it'd be kind of boring if it were. Although I could totally see them giving themselves a test of... I bet you could totally beat this area without firing a single shot. I think I might just... Yeah, it makes it sort of like a quasi-survival horror game, which is cool. Like it's a cool twist, and it's like that's not the thing that anyone tells you about Half-Life 2, right? No one says like, oh man, I love the fact I like this really well-designed area in Half-Life 2. All anyone like people kind of talk about first and foremost the gravity gun because that's the thing that they saw first. But I think again it speaks to why I like the Half-Life games, not as these tech showcases, but as really well-designed games, you know, like I
Better.
I almost
am Father Grigori. You have already met my congregation.
where are you? Okay. I think there's a camp there. You know, a lot of people who kind of think the first Portal is better than the second one, and I kind of get that argument for brevity and stuff. But as someone who's been rambling to you for however long, I think the thing that separates Portal 2 and Portal 1 most is that I think Portal 2 very successfully moves past the novelty of Portals. Where it's like, yeah, we have this incredible concept, but we're also going to build on it in smart ways. And I think a lot of people kind of checked out. But I think, like, Portal 2 is as consistently good as Portal 1. It just is that for longer. And there are some really strong narrative hooks. There's some really strong level design, just even in the areas where you're not even firing portals. Like, that game is tremendous the whole way through. In a way that I don't think it's like, even as a universally well-regarded game, that I don't think it gets enough credit for.
But no harm done. My bullets are the least of your concerns.
Oh, got me good.
Minor lacerations detected. Warning. Vital signs critical. User death imminent.
Okay. Are there any more you got? Oh. They're like little babies with claws. Oh, God. I'm gonna shoot you.
Detected.
Okay. So yeah, I universally I don't think Valve gets enough credit for. Well, I feel like they get a proper amount of credit, but I think there are circles in which that kind of see Valve as kind of a series of tech breakthroughs. But I totally think the games stand out beyond that for sure. I'd be willing to bet that there are very few ways that you can't start that chain reaction without killing everything. It's like a fun design thing it's like a fun design challenge as a level designer is can I make it so no matter which barrel you destroy that you end up killing everything here, and it's like a cool moment. I just gotta figure out where the heck I'm supposed to go. I was talking about how it's like the survival thing, but I have not been able to find a usable object to throw at this guy. Guess I could do that, but oh well, here's something. You know, like right now,
Although they call me crazy, I care not, for thou art my helper, my strength, and my shield.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill this guy. Okay. Well, let's just take this guy with me. Like, I'm enjoying this section because it's well made, and I'm just gonna. Oh God. What am I at here? I feel like I'm running into the limit here, right? Okay, I'm at 106. I feel like continuing on. I'm very curious to see, like, I haven't seen the trailer, so I have no idea what to expect, but I wonder if I'll see that trailer and be like, no, that game's trash. Or like, this completely rewires my thinking of everything I just talked about. And it's like, no, Valve is 100% a tech company. Their games are bad, or I don't know if it'll... What would the game have to look like for me to think that? I'm very curious to see those trailers now. How far away is this thing's reach? Ah, gosh. I think it's almost like the better question is which one haven't I enjoyed? I think that's Counter-Strike. Everything else, like, I think if I were to rank them in terms of enjoyment, I think Counter-Strike would be at the bottom. I mean, they have done a lot of stuff like Day of Defeat. I think that's. I actually think so in terms of like main franchises that they're known for at this point, it's probably like, oh, thanks Oreo Mega for subscribing. Really appreciate it. In terms of like the series that they're known for, right, and everything else is kind of obscure, and just pretend it all kind of ranks outside of my purview because I haven't played them. But I think Counter-Strike's probably at the bottom, and it's not really that game's fault. I'm just not very good at aiming, and that game is a very hardcore shooter, so not into that. Above that would be Team Fortress 2, which is like kind of a huge margin between those two, which I really like. I really like Team Fortress. I think I bought, I think, the 360 version, and I played that for a while, and then I kind of played that game in a vacuum and wasn't aware of like, oh, dude, they're not updating it. I was just playing it because there were people to play with, and then I had heard that like, oh, this game's not getting updated on Xbox. You want to play the PC version, and I think also they had like a free weekend, and so. I bought that and played it for maybe another 60, 70 hours, which isn't a lot in multiplayer games now. But I really enjoyed that game. I never really got like a community around it. I was never playing Team Fortress with the boys. But just as like a thing, I played a lot of the scout and a lot of the heavy and some of the medic. But I like that game quite a bit. And then I think Half-Life. Because as much as I really like Half-Life, I think Half-Life 2 is a great game. I don't know that it makes my top 10. I really like it, but I don't know that it makes my top 10. I think Half-Life 1 is aged more poorly than people give it credit for. I think it's aged kind of poorly. Which is, I think, why I'm kind of interested in playing Black Mesa again, because I've played it through it before. But I think for me, like, I'll just play that instead of Half-Life 1. But I still really like both games. And then I think both Portals are probably my next one. I think I do end up liking Portal more than Half-Life. Because for a while I was like, after Portal 2, I was like, I don't need another Half-Life game as long as they give me another Portal game. And then, like everyone else in the world, it's kind of like, why are they doing this Dota thing? That's dumb. I don't want them to make Dota. And then I played Dota, and it's the second greatest game ever made. Like, I'm just kind of like calling for it, come here. Oh, I totally forgot about Left 4 Dead. I feel bad. Left 4 Dead would probably rank, I think it would rank above Team Fortress, but below Half-Life. I do remember having some really good nights with Left 4 Dead, and that was a game where I was playing it with groups, so that made that game a lot more fun. Does the original Half-Life make my top 20? No. I think at this point I'm kind of worried about playing Half-Life, like the original Half-Life period. I totally understand where it's like it has some really good parts, but I think I feel like it is more stuck in kind of that kind of inflexible, like old school video gamey design, where it's just like the logic behind a lot of the puzzles feels kind of not as interesting as it does here. I say as I'm kind of stuck. But yeah, I guess I just, as a whole, I kind of enjoy Half-Life 2 less. Let's see, is there a ladder here? Am I supposed to? Or Half-Life 1. Oh, I mean, if Half-Life 2 cracks my top 20, maybe. Maybe. I have not played Blue Shift or Opposing Forces. Those are original one, right? Those are Half-Life 1 mods, right? And then Lost Coast, which I do plan to play after this, is the Half-Life 2 mod. Or not mod, but like... Oh, God. Okay. I don't know if this box is going to kill, but... It's not doing anything. Let's hope 15 bullets is enough. Come on. There we go. Well, it's not gonna be, sure as heck not gonna be enough to kill this guy. But at least now I have some breathing room. Do I have enough cardboard boxes to kill this guy? I don't think it's even doing anything. But I do have this bucket. That isn't gonna kill. Huh! I had no idea the actual the paint actually did that. But none of these objects. Oh, there we go. That's super cool. Is it worth? Okay, I have not played Lost Coast. I've played episodes 1 and 2. But is it worth seeing through? Are there like major lore implications? Like, is there a good reason to go play Half-Life, to play Lost Coast at this point?
Detected.
Here, brother. Come closer.
Okay.
You've stirred up hell. A man after my own heart. Here, I have a more suitable gun for you. You'll need it. Catch. Good. Now, keep it close. My advice to you is aim for the head. Hush. They come. There is no rest in
God.
Ravenholm. Move on and I will meet you at the church.
Oh, good lord. Oh no. Oh, this is bad. That's fun though.
Good. Now, keep it close. My advice to you is aim for the head. Hush. They come.
Can I make it over there?
There is no rest in Ravenholm. Move on and I will meet you at the church.
Nice. Not today. Good shotgun. What I like in a game, a good shotgun. And I think Half-Life 2 does have a good shotgun.
detected.
It's only an hour long. There's no lore in it at all. It's just a neat level with all of the weapons and fun encounters. Okay. Go ahead and close this door. Yeah, now that the lift is finally here. You also, I mean, it's not as obvious as it is in games now, but, you know, there's like, hey, here's the switch. It's just a part of the environment. It's not like this super obvious, like, glowing thing that is, like, covered in white paint and, like, X'd out, you know, which is what the game would be now. I wonder if they're going to do that in Half-Life. In Alex. Here's the thing. I, half the time, forget that weapons even have a secondary shot. Is it like a long range shot? So I think the neurotoxin is like, it does a lot of damage up front and then it kind of heals back up, but how many shots does that waste? I like that little, like, spring sound that it makes. That, you know. That's my impression of that sound effect, guys. Okay, now where exactly do I... Oh. So I think it can lead to a little bit like this where you don't... It's like obvious when you see it, but it's not glowing. So, you know, maybe I need to retrain my brain to look for less obvious signs. Yeah. Good shotgun this game. Good shotgun. Okay, what am I at? 118? I might go 130. This area is so good. Uses 2 shells. Okay. Also, like, this is a submachine gun, right? And it feels like it is so loud. They don't really compress the sound of it at all. It just feels so powerful, regardless of how powerful it actually is. All the gun noises are really, like, they're kind of out of control. I don't know if that's just, like, bad sound mixing, that everything sounds really loud, but I think I kind of like it, because it just sounds like everything has, like, such a ridiculous oomph to it. Oh. This is a dangerous area. I'm running out of shotgun shells. I shot him with the magnum 3 times. Things are getting spicy. I feel like I'm so turned around here that I'm not even sure where I'm supposed to go. Are these gonna come forever? 'Cause I'm not entirely sure where I'm supposed to go. Okay, feels like I'm probably supposed to go up here. Yeah, it's that first poison head crab is bad. Okay, so I'm supposed to go over here. No. Oh. Oh, okay. Supposed to figure out a way up there. Alright. Hold on. How does one make it up there? Wait, is there like a... some sort of pulley thing? Over here. Man, they really do not, Wait, can I...
Ammunition depleted. Warning. Blood toxin level detected.
You all saw me shoot that thing right in the face, right?
Minor lacerations detected. Vital signs critical. Emergency. User death imminent.
Two shots of the Magnum, huh? Okay, that one missed.
Minor lacerations.
Okay, well that's it. That's literally all my ammo. Where are they coming from? Maybe I'm supposed to grab it from higher up. They're just gonna keep coming, aren't they? And I know I'm supposed to move it around somehow. Is it in there? I'm not using any mods that raise the resolution. I think at some point they did end up patching it. They just kind of did an overall kind of minor graphics pass. How do I get on top of that building? So there's very clearly a way to get up to those rooftops. I feel like I'm supposed to put something here, maybe? Pulley system. Is there literally a lever I've missed? It has to be in that building though, right? I didn't see a lever though. Oh. Okay, I'm done. Well, I don't know exactly how much that does. Because I was hoping to reach that area from... Well, that necessarily solves my problem here. Is there a ladder here? Oh. Well, thank you. Ow. Okay. Oh. Okay, here we go. Or not. Oh, no. Is this a dead end? We'll find out. Okay, here we go. Okay. But what is this all leading to? I'm not sure I get where they're trying to take me. Or, like, I'm not sure what my ultimate goal is here. Is it up here? Okay. Okay, well that didn't go so well. Oh, and he's not even dead. Again, I'm pretty sure at some point they kind of did an HDR pass on this game. Like I don't think this is how the game looked.
Here, brother. This is a town for you. Did I not seek the church? Mend your ways before it is too late.
I don't think this is how the game looked in 2004. Oh, that was close. Actually, I don't think you can die there. Or, like, fall off there. Alright. Yep, take the table, not the 4 saw blades on it. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden's probably another looker from 2004. Whew. This is a lot. Oh, good lord. Wait, how did that not kill them? There's one left. Is there actually anything here worth getting? Oh, is this the way out? I thought that basement area was the way out. Okay. Are you coming or what? Okay. Oh, God. There's so many bad guys here now. Okay. Are you guys done? Wait, so which way am I supposed to go? Okay, so this is literally like the this is the wrong way. Okay, let me grab that saw blade and I'm gonna kill that guy and then see what's over there, and then I'm gonna head out the other way. I think we're gonna call it a day there. Hey! I'm not supposed to knock the things out of my hands. Oh, there's nothing here. Okay. Alright. Now we can keep going. Yes, I have seen a speedrun of this game. It's almost not even... I like those... There are some runs where it's just beating the game really fast, and then there are runs that aren't useful at all as walkthroughs because they just skip so much of the game that you're not gonna really get much out of it if you're looking at it as like, oh, hey, how do I beat this game really fast? Well, it's like you do a bunch of frame perfect tricks that wouldn't really help you in a casual playthrough. I'm starting to think I made a mistake going this way. Oh. No, this looks like... Oh! You... Point blank blade to the face. Nothing, huh? You saw that, right? It was two... It was two razors to the face, and they both just completely whiff. This game's got physics in it, guys. Oh, you know, I never use... I forget about op fires for some reason.
Ah, there you are. At last. I will send the cart for you, brother. It will be but a moment. Patience, brother. Guard yourself well.
Oh, the 0-point energy. The 0-point energy gun. Energy manipulator, sorry. Gordon Freeman versus Isaac Clarke. I mean, well, yeah, he's got... I feel like Isaac Clarke just has to go for headshots, and I think he kind of wins that one, right? Because he's more heavily armored than up there. Well, it also depends on whether... Okay, Gordon Freeman, I imagine, has the gravity gun. Man, that's a... They're kind of like the same character in a lot of respects, huh? He's an engineer also, so it's like kind of has a little bit of an advantage. Yeah, Isaac does win because of stasis, but Gordon does have the gravity gun, so it's like it's a matter of range, right? I think if Isaac ever steps within the range of the gravity gun, Gordon can just like yeet him, basically, just grab him and throw him off into the distance. But Isaac can stasis him, which would basically prevent him from doing any of that. So it's like a knife versus bat situation of like all that matters is who gets the first hit. And I don't think either of them have any particular advantage in that regard.
The handbrake, brother. Release it and come down.
Does he? I think it's a little bit more limited though, isn't it? Oh, oh, my blade fell. Who had better SATs? Gordon probably had better SATs, right? I mean, he's like a nuclear physicist or whatever. He's some sort of physicist. I mean, don't get me wrong. Isaac's smart, and you know, it's like an engineering degree is certainly worth more than an English degree. I'll tell you that much. Ooh.
Greetings, brother. And so we meet at last. You are to be commended for avoiding my traps. The work of a man who once had too much time on his hands and now finds time for nothing but the work of salvation. I suspect you have little wish to remain in Ravenholm, so I will show you to the mines. As for me, the shepherd must tend to his flock.
I need handgun bullets for whatever reason.
Unruly. Follow me, brother, and tread lightly, for this is hallowed ground.
I feel like his would just be like it would be a rifle. I don't know that you're ever like kind of forced to snipe, to be honest. So I don't know that I'm crazy, like want one of those things, but I think this is a good place to call it. We're not quite out of Ravenholm yet, but I think this is a good breaking point now that I've gotten out of the city proper and I'm kind of in this forest area. So with this guy coming out of the horizon here, I think I'm gonna call it. Thanks again to everybody who watched. It seems like viewership is up a little bit, so definitely appreciate either people who just kind of dropped by or people spreading the word. That helps a ton, and I really appreciate it for sure. So Tuesday is gonna probably not be a good streaming day. There are a couple things I do need to take care of that'll probably be pretty time intensive. One including some min-max stuff. As you guys saw, we are streaming both Final Fantasy VII and whatever the community poll wins. Who I haven't checked the poll recently. Who's ahead in that poll between Bloodroots and Final Fantasy Grand Blue Fantasy versus? I'm very curious to see where that one winds up because I might have to bring my hitbox in if we play Grand Blue, but Bloodroots would not require that. So, and then Wednesday I have the podcast, so I probably won't be streaming until Thursday, honestly, which is maybe going to put me behind, which is maybe why I played a little longer today. But cool. All right. This has been fun. I really enjoyed our conversation, I guess. Yeah, I will be back on Thursday. I know it's a kind of not the best schedule to keep, but it's kind of the one that I like. It's the one that I can really work, because of between work and min-max stuff. So thanks everybody for watching. I will be back on Thursday. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.